Okay, so my name is Rosemary Collier. I'm the Director and CEO of Kilkenny Arts Festival, and I'm here with the artist Jonathan Nangle, who's going to tell us a little bit about his installation called Song Sculptures. So Jonathan, welcome to Kilkenny Arts Festival.
Thank you very much.
We're delighted to have you as part of the programme. Can you tell us a little bit about the first installation, which is installed outside the Heritage Council, right in the heart of Kilkenny?
Well, this piece here is called Trip the Light Fantastic, and it is a solar-powered generative sound installation. So, as you can see, we have these kind of bells here, and on top of each one of these bells, we have a little solar panel, and that's gathering the light and that's converting that into energy. And that energy is being stored in a little capacitor here, and once it reaches a certain level, it lets go of all that energy at once, which triggers the bell. So the piece is actually completely driven by the ambient light. So on a very sunny day, or a kind of misty sunny day like we have today, you see it's quite active. But as the light goes down, or as it gets darker, it'll become quieter and less active. Or if it gets very sunny, it goes very, very active and becomes really cacophonous. And right beside St. Canice's Cathedral here is quite apt for it. A kind of competition of bells on the hour.
Okay, so Jonathan, we're inside now in the community room at the Heritage Council, and there are two more pieces as part of Song Sculptures. So we're going to start with this one, Jonathan. Can you tell us a little bit about this unusual looking thing?
The piece is called Triple Double Pendulums, and it's 3 double pendulums. So this is known as a double pendulum. So people are familiar with what a pendulum is. It's usually just a kind of a single bar or a heavy weight at the end of a rope or something. You see them in grandfather clocks. They help keep the regularity back and forth, the tick, or a metronome, something that keeps a very regular pulse that swings back and forth. However, when you add a second pendulum onto it, this double pendulum, this creates one of the simplest forms of a chaos engine. So although this single pendulum swings back and forth with great regularity, you can't predict how these inner pendulums will swing. So each pendulum is wired up with a little sensor, and when this inner pendulum passes through, it plays a note from a sequence of notes. So each pendulum also has a number of sequences of notes that are constantly changing. So the piece, when you set it in motion, should never put itself together in the same way twice. It'll always be slightly different. And you also hear that each pendulum has a little drone that goes on in the background. And that drone and the way it evolves and dies is also influenced by the way that these all spin. So the piece is entirely dependent on this kind of idea of chaos and just putting itself together in a very random fashion. A bit like the one that's outside, Trip the Light Fantastic. It relies on kind of interaction and then freedom of chaos. This one is called environmental paving. So what we have is on the floor we have essentially 10 paving slabs. And it's very simple. You step on it and it creates a footstep in different environments. And these environments are changing all the time. So this is run kind of on pressure sensors. So if I stand up, it will trigger once, but it won't trigger until I trigger it lots more times. So it's all to do with it's a nice kind of idea of, I suppose, a journey. Because you have the physical kind of shape and running around it. But I suppose the inspiration behind it is this idea of removing you from your environment. We're in a room with a wooden floor, but I can step on it, I created a wooden floor, it happens to be what's in it. But there's also different environments, like there's gravel and water and metal. So it's this idea that it's kind of sensory dislocation. You're removed from the environment that you're in, and you've created a new environment. It's very much plays in the idea of your imagination and where you are, what that kind of conjures up. And it's kind of hopping stuff.
This is the one for hopping.
Yes, this is very much the one